Good evening, everybody, and thanks for joining us tonight. My name is Mehmet, and alongside Sardar, we are here with you today for yet another music trivia.
Yeah, we made some changes today. We are not in Drom.
Yes.
We both are in home. I'm in my garden. Mehmet is in office, and our guests are gonna be in their home too.
Yes, so we're doing a wide sort of like broadcast here around the tri-state area. Tonight we are going to cover Russian music, and for that we have two experts with us to guide us along the path into Russian music. Also, Eastern European from time to time will be mentioned in the quiz as well. But we very much look forward to having you all join us. Before we get started with the trivia, we wanted to invite our guests for the day. Our good dear friend Igor and the great performer Max Pokrovsky will be joining us today. Hello, guys.
All right.
Hey Igor, good to see
How's
you.
it going?
Hey
How are you
Max,
doing?
good.
Good to
We
have
have
you
a-
guys here. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for inviting us. Yes, this should be fun.
So this is our first month of the trivia, and this must have been at least trivia number 10 or 12. And so far we've covered so much ground, from Turkish music to Afro jazz music, from hot jazz to gypsy music and the Jewish klezmer music. And we have been sort of like traveling in and around Russia, but we never really went into Russia. So today we wanted to go to Russia and its diverse, rich history of music and composers and a bunch of other things, arts in general. And we're really happy that you guys are here. Igor, would you briefly tell us, what you do and how you're involved with, in addition to obviously DJing? You do so many different things as a creative person.
My main job is a physician. I work in emergency room. I've been a physician for many years, but I've also been DJing and organizing concerts for many years, especially at Drom. And this is how you guys know me, and I know you, and thank you for inviting me to do this. We've been doing Halloween for maybe 8 years. It's a Russian Halloween.
Wow,
Thank you
it's
for
8
holding
years,
that
really?
spot.
Wow.
Yeah, that long. It's a tradition now.
Yeah, it's and at one point we had like 400 participants. 400 people came to the party. Anyway, it's been very popular.
I hope we can able to do this year too.
And currently, everything is on a lockdown, so I'm glad to participate and support you guys. And anything to just be closer to music is great. I collect vinyl records. I am organizing some live concerts. Max is a friend of mine. We met at a concert. I was doing a reggae concert and we were introduced at a concert. Then we became friends. We did a concert together at Drom. And Max now part-time lives in Brooklyn and part-time lives in Moscow. So I'm glad he was able to join us.
Great.
Thank you for joining us, Max.
Yeah, we really look forward to hearing from you. Tell us about life in Russia as far as the music scene these days. We get so much different stuff here in the US, but it must be really amazing to be living in a place where all of this is actually produced.
All right, thanks again for having me. And before I answer your question, I'm very happy. Versus to Igor, I'm not a physician, I'm a musician. But Igor knows much more. I'm not kidding. It's true. He knows much more about Russian music, especially if we talk about not like exactly about, let's say, rock music in general. He knows much better. And even not only, but even the fact Igor plays vinyl, and I know what he plays, and it's like a huge collection and a great taste. Also, by the way, Igor is a person who, I wouldn't say brought me to New York City, but helped me a lot. So, I'm here part-time, but biggest part-time of a year, whatever, in average. I spend time here. As for Russia, I've been on Russian market like for more than 30 years. Rap music is pretty, as usually as everywhere, big. I'm a little, but it's my personal taste. I'm a little bit bored of what's going on in Russian rock music. That's why I'm like trying to find something new and blah blah blah.
So Ahmet, if you wanted to come in and join us to tell briefly how to for people to join.
Sure. Hi guys. Igor, Max, great to have you both with us. Здравствуйте. So I hope we have a fun night tonight. Before further ado, let me share our leaderboard with you. So we'll be seeing the screen a lot tonight. To participate, you can use any device that you have with internet connection to go to trivia.poltio.com, and then it's going to ask you to insert a trivia code. Our code for tonight is 2141. You are going to have 15 seconds to answer each question. So it's important to answer correctly. But if you answer fast, then you have some extra points as well. And after each question, we are going to have the chance to chat and learn more about the songs and also about our guests tonight. So let's give people a few more minutes to participate. I'll post the link in chat as well.
Yeah, so if you're watching this, say hello in the chat. You can also raise your hand, right, if you want to say something.
Yeah,
and if you're winning and answering a lot of questions, right, we're going to feature you and we can chat with you.
Yeah,
exactly. When you asked me to do Russian music trivia, I not freaked out, but it's such a huge topic, you know, just to take the classical music, where what is Russian music? What is Russian rock? What is Russian anything? You know, it's such a, but anyway, we tried. And you actually wrote some really interesting questions. I wrote some maybe a little more difficult.
Well, we're all trying to learn here. That's
Max
the
had
idea.
some really hard questions that he wrote.
Yeah, yesterday we discussed. Igor told me, "Hey man, you like, it's very hard."
So the idea here is that we all learn from it. We have learned so much as hosts over the past month or so in many different styles of music. And some of the questions are more difficult, but that's okay because it's really about learning a new genre, a new type of music. So the winner will get something. So it is important that you participate and that you answer fast and that you get the right answer. But just because you're not winning doesn't mean that you're not learning. So again, the idea here is that we all learn from this different genre
it's
of
about
music.
the hang. It's about hanging out together in the times
Exactly.
of
Exactly. So there, we will be, you know, recalling many memories, you know, from your shows at Drom, but also other memories, and we'll talk about things that we didn't know. It'll be a fun 1 hour. We have 20 questions in total. And Ahmet, do we have a song right now, or are we going to start the?
No. So the first question.
I think we should. There is a very good tradition to wait 15 minutes for people. If you're making, you know, if you meet someone somewhere, wait for them 15 minutes. So let's wait another 5 minutes. Let's chat. I see Katrina Plotnikova. She's a friend of mine. She knows about music a lot.
Oh,
I think she may be she might be the winner of this whole thing. She actually knows a lot of these things. Thank you for participating.
Igor modified a couple of my questions, so probably they are not as difficult. And you know, today I spent some time just on the beach. I love this beach. It's Rockaway Park. Yeah. And I sent Igor one more question. It was an extra one. That one was real difficult. So I can just give you an example of what questions I mean, it could be like, you know, like extra question, or just to give you an example about like my thought process, but don't make it official. Let it be 21st, just to give you an idea of what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Slava and
I think we should get started so that we can get into
These
the
are my friends.
These questions.
I recognize these guys.
So Kirkorov is here.
They might know these things. Olga, all right. I don't know who else.
Kirkorov is here. Maybe Pugacheva is showing up. You know.
Pugacheva is always in us.
Very well. So let's have the first question up if you want, and then we are gonna.
Let's start.
Okay.
So please have your devices ready, and you'll see a small countdown on your devices, and then the first question is going to come up. Here it is.
Okay. What is the name of the ska punk band formed in the 90s that bears the name of a Russian city? Is it Kazan, Yekaterinburg, Leningrad, or Vladivostok?
Let's see.
This is a hard one.
It's yeah, very hard one. We wanted to start with a hard one.
Not for us.
100%. Everybody
Yeah,
got
Leningrad.
Oh my God.
it.
I knew this as well, so this is a warm-up question.
They were
This
the
is the real
guest
one.
of our first Gypsy Festival. You remember? Igor.
It's gonna get harder. Huh?
Yeah.
Say again.
They were our guests in the first Gypsy Festival. Right, Mehmet? First or second?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
First
they,
It was the
they,
second. The first one was Gogo
Second.
Bordello. The second was
Yeah,
the
They
second.
fell apart.
It was in Roxy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, in Roxy.
That's
What
right.
year was that?
2005.
2010? 10?
2006.
6? 10?
Five was the first
Maybe
one.
start 4. Yeah, yeah, you're right.
2006. They've been to New York before 2000.
Many times. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. We saw them at Hammerstein
They
Ballroom
don't
before
exist
that.
anymore. They don't
Yeah.
play as Leningrad anymore. I mean,
Oh, okay.
should
What
have
happened?
performed. Yeah, I don't know. They've already performed everywhere and they stopped.
Oh.
Maybe they'll come back. I don't know.
Yeah.
Mm.
But
Okay.
you see, everybody knew the answer. So,
Yeah.
guys, it's going to be much harder. Much
Yeah.
harder.
Do you want to read the second question, actually, Igor?
Okay, I'll go for it. Which of the names listed below is not a name of a Russian composer? Stravinsky, Prokofiev, Bartok, Shostakovich.
Another hard one.
100%.
This should be 100% too.
I
agree.
believe.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes,
That's it.
congratulations.
Bravo.
You can't trick these guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
good
Russians
try.
knows their culture very well, of course.
Unreal. Unreal.
All right.
Um,
Bartok is not Russian.
yeah, Hungarian.
Hungarian, yes.
Question number 3. Max, maybe you can read this question for us.
All right, I'll try. I'm not
Okay.
a good reader. Okay, let's try. Which of
No, that one.
this escaped? What is the name of the song and band of ethno pop origin that came in second for Russia at the 2012 Eurovision Song Contest? Emilia, all right.
Yeah,
It's
Dina
done.
Garibova.
I even
It
didn't
was
finish.
Babushki.
I even didn't finish.
Party of Everybody by Babushki ve... Wow,
Did
75
Russia ever have a number 1 song? A song that came in number 1?
in Eurovision, you mean?
Yeah.
Was
in
it
Eurovision.
number 1 or not? I don't
didn't
really-
know this. I didn't know this.
I think Russia has one song, but I cannot remember who the performer
Yeah,
was.
Dima Bilan.
This was number
they,
2.
They put on chat as well.
My
Dima
idea
Bilan.
it was not number 1, but I'm
Okay.
not
Oh,
sure.
yeah. Yeah,
Dima Bilan.
Dima Bilan.
So who's the winner currently?
Let's check our leaderboards.
Okay. That's right.
And
Yeah. If there's a
Katrina.
Eurovision in Moscow, it means there was a winner.
Some people are still trying to connect. I told you about Katrina. I'm betting my money on this girl.
Yeah, so Katrina, Mike,
She's
and
dangerous.
Hayato. So we had all of them. They got 3 questions right, but
Yeah.
Katrina was the fastest to get the 3 questions right. But Mike D and Hayato are right behind her.
This is an easy
What is
one.
the name of the Russian feminist protest punk band? Pussy Riot, TATU, Bikini Kill, Gorky Park.
Actually, I have a doubt.
Oh,
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, it's the
Pussy
famous one.
Riot, the world famous.
Yeah, cool. It was the easy one.
Well, so far so good.
Yeah.
Looks like some people knew all 4 questions. That's fantastic.
You know what I would, what option I would choose? I would choose tattoo, because
really?
it's like you're like real feminist.
you were saying something, Max?
No,
Who was talking? Who was
Because
speaking before I
I-
interrupted?
Talking about they can divide the screen using trivia questions for trivia at trivia.poltia.com, and they can use Zoom in the same computer if they want.
Yep, you can do both at the same computer.
It's not easy on the phone, but they can do on the computer.
Yep.
Question number 5.
Let's do it. So who is reading?
Coming up. I'll read it.
Okay, here it is.
The very famous song by the band Nogus Velo was written in what language? Is it Berber, Amharic?
Well, there has to be a song.
No.
No, this one is we thought we play after the song, no?
No, you have to play the song so they know what language it's written.
Right. Okay.
Oh.
All right.
Anyway, they guessed it even without the song.
Even without the song, they guessed it.
Yes,
so this
we-
time,
This one.
Question
So
number
in-
6. Maybe that could help.
yeah.
All
This
right, let's
now first we are going to listen to a short clip, and then
Yes.
we are going to have the question.
Yes, correct.
Yes.
All right.
Let's see.
Ah,
Who's the composer?
well, they have to guess it.
It's kind
All
of hard.
piano music in this country is written by Igor.
Ah, wow. See? 50% got it. Oh, wow. Slava and Shai are in the first spot. Those are my best buddies. I swear.
Shy,
I
DJ
didn't
Shy.
show them.
All right.
They don't know what the heck I'm doing. They're in Catskills. They moved to Catskills.
Oh, really?
Fantastic.
Shai moved to Catskills.
Yeah, sure.
Right?
Here we have. I just sent an invite to them.
Oh, wow.
And let's
That's
have
all
the
we
video on as well.
All right.
Coming.
Oh,
Hello.
Yeah. Hey,
Oh.
Shy. How are you?
oh wow.
Good to
guys.
see you.
We're
Good to
waiting
see
for
you
the right
guys.
question to get to number one, you know. Actually, Slava gets the right question.
They've been sitting in Catskills for what, 2.5 months now, right?
Yep.
And Shai moved to live there. That's it. No more Brooklyn. He lives in
we just
Catskills.
we just had a move.
Today we had a big move of my stuff up to
You guys are
Catskills.
super strong. Wow. If you win, Shai, if you win, I have a super duper present for you. It,
Oh, yeah?
it wouldn't be useful for anybody else. Okay, let's do it. Who's going to read the next one?
Continue.
Good to see you guys.
Good to see you guys.
What?
Thanks for coming in.
See you.
Igor, maybe you can
Thanks,
read the
guys.
next question.
Like so,
The
this
next
again,
one is the song.
yeah, again we have a song. So first we are again gonna play a short part from the song, and then the question will follow.
Bilmez. Nice song.
70s.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it.
Wow.
Alexander Zepsepin.
And Slava and Shai are again number one.
This is where we stand now. So far we had 7 questions, and Slava and Shai and Katrina, they both got 6 out of 7.
Oh, 6 out of 7, not all of them.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, nobody knew that. Nobody knew that Eurovision. That's
Yeah.
too
Eurovision, yeah, they don't care about it.
But I kind of heard about the babushki.
Babushki was amazing.
Yeah. No, they got famous with that stuff. They were.
So should we do one more as we are
Yes,
here?
let's do one more. Maybe Max, would you do the honors?
Absolutely.
So let's have the next question.
Mumitrol released their first album in 1985. What was the name of their first album? Новая луна апреля. Делай юю, морская икра. Кавиар.
Caviar.
Caviar.
Ooh, nobody got this right.
Nobody got this right.
Nobody got
Wow,
this right.
That was the hard one.
it was a hard one.
See?
Ooh, so it's
Unbelievable.
Yeah, the same with
The
me.
order doesn't.
My idea was Morskaya.
It's not your question then. Igor, did you?
Yes, it's not my one.
It's Igor's question, I believe.
No, most of the questions are mine. I wrote like 12 or 13.
Ты стучала в дверь открытую, я молчала, как убитая. Обманули на улице та же жара.
Performed by Sana
Right.
Aguzarova, Alla Pugacheva, Lukoza, Zamfire.
great pronunciation.
50%.
Did I do good?
People are busting my chops. Oh my
That,
God.
we shouldn't read that kind of questions. You, Igor, and Max, you should do it. It's very Russian for me.
Okay, I'm reading the next one. We can we can be interchanging.
I'm very French for Russian, you know.
Huh?
But what is interesting, a smart part of this question, the great thing is this song was first performed. So I think my idea, everyone knows whose song it is. But first performed, that's the smartest part.
It could be a tricky question because maybe
But-
it's
Yeah.
covered.
Whose song is originally?
No,
Zemfira.
it's her song.
Right?
It's her song. It's her first song from the first album, and she's a mega superstar. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and if we ask whose song it is, that would be 100%.
Yeah, of course.
Which I meant. This is why I mentioned the smartest part, first performed.
Legendary band from St. Petersburg, Action, collaborated with which American artists? Mark Ribot, John Lurie, John Scofield, or Bob Dylan?
Interesting information, yeah? This is what trivia is for.
Guys, they know everything.
Slava and Shai. Let's see what they will say.
They would know.
They will.
They knew.
Whoa.
Yes, Mark Ribot.
Ribot, yes.
Great result.
Did you
Yeah.
know about it, guys? From Drom. Did you know
I
that
didn't
the
know,
Russian
no.
band collaborated with Mark
Yeah,
Ribot?
we host Mark Ribot a couple times, but I didn't know.
What year? What decade was this?
Leon is a very famous band.
No,
Was
we
it
know
recently or a
Action,
long
but
time ago?
Who is speaking?
I was wondering if the collaboration was a long time ago or was recent.
It was like 5 years ago,
Okay.
not long ago.
Okay.
And then they played a show supporting that release at, I think it was Poison Rouge LPR.
Mm.
I think that's what they did. Yeah.
Okay.
They also come. This band that collaborated, that was in this question, Auktion. It's called Auktion, which means an auction.
Okay.
And this band comes to Jetlag Festival, the Jetlag Festival that does their events at Drom.
Yeah.
They come every year. They support this festival in one way or another. Either their leader comes or the whole band comes, but they're very affiliated and connected with
That's a
Jetlag.
fun band, yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Alrighty. Oh,
So we have
hey.
Katrina joining us.
Hello.
Nice. How
Hi,
is it?
guys.
How does
Hi.
it feel to be
Oh,
in a lockdown?
Oh, it's going great. We're staying home with our cats, so we're having fun here.
Okay. How many cats?
2.
Okay.
Where are you
One for
calling
each
from,
person.
Katrina?
Are they wearing masks?
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. Okay, wonderful. That's
They-
great.
you
You're
guys-
doing well so far.
Say it again.
You're doing well so far.
Oh,
Congratulations.
thank you. Thank you very much. It's basically the matter of who hits the button first.
Sometimes it is. You're right. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
but not the wrong button.
Don't
Good to see
procrastinate.
you all.
Good to see you too.
Likewise.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
All
Katya.
right. Okay, Igor, I think it's your turn to read the question.
Well, let's do it. So here it comes. Question 11.
All right, let's do it. Okay, Aquarium is a Russian rock group formed in Leningrad. They burst into the consciousness of Soviet rock scene by competing at Yurmala Music Festival, Woodstock Festival, Tbilisi Rock Festival, Moscow Music Peace Festival. All right, let's see who gets this one right.
Oh, Gao Margius.
Slava and Shai again got it right.
Yeah,
Ayato.
yeah, they know this.
That's not bad, 85%.
Yeah.
85%. I think Budulai missed it.
Yeah. maybe. So I don't know what Budulai's name is on the board, but yeah.
I think he's Kirkorov.
Okay.
I know this guy. He's a troublemaker. Oh my God. He lives on Roosevelt Island. Be careful.
Yeah.
Next to the hospital.
Of course. Budulaichik, дорогой.
Okay.
All right. Max,
Now
would you like to read the next question for us?
Sorry,
Let's
who?
do it. Here it is.
Who is reading?
You.
Rapper Basta is also known as Gav Kasta, Nagano, Smoky Mo.
We were talking about hip hop music earlier today.
I know what to say. I
You know
gave
this- Oh my God.
52%. Congratulations.
They were 37% were close, but no cigar. They were close.
I feel that hip hop is really well known in Europe. I mean, it really has become a big phenomenon, and not just in France and Germany, but in Turkey as well, in Russia. You know, there's hip hop coming from everywhere. It's fantastic.
And also looks like this hip hop roasting seems to be a big thing in Russia, right? Like people are competing real time, improvising hip hop.
Hip hop is huge.
Yeah, it's a little. Are you talking about this versus project?
Yeah, versus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, versus. It's little. As I know, I'm not a specialist. It used to be extremely popular. Now it's a little lower. I don't know if I'm right or not. Exactly. I don't know why if I'm right, but it's a little. You know, maybe very much is going on, but it used to be 1 year ago, 2 years.
Yep, there is one very famous Russian guy. He was like a lot of people showed up to see him in the US as well, I believe. Cool. So we have another song to listen to, and then let's have the questions. So let's listen to the song a little, and then and I'll increase the volume for some people.
All right, I'm gonna read it. This music was performed by which Russian band? Massachusetts, Kraftwerk, Messer für Frau Müller, Cheese People. Let's go.
Ah, Slava and Shai couldn't get this one right. Katrina did, so did Mikey.
Katrina is leading now.
Katrina is back up top. He is leading now.
Oh yeah, Katrina, she knows this stuff because she's from St. Petersburg, and a lot of St. Petersburg, between St. Petersburg and Moscow, it's pretty much where it's at in terms of Russian contemporary music, right? Max, am I right?
Yes, and this great option, Kraftwerk, like.
I know, right?
but Kraftwerk, they have 0, which means we don't have amateurs in our trivia. Yes, somebody can answer question right or wrong. Yeah, some people don't know right answers. Sometimes it happens, but there are no amateurs here.
No amateurs. Nobody picked the really wrong answer. Kraftwerk. Those guys was German.
Yes. Yeah, I totally agree. Young people, our children, they are. But it's like You know, it's not the first, you know, generation in terms, I mean, not generations, but how music develops and how music goes. Because yesterday I have an interview on one, I mean, online interview on one Moscow, let's say Moscow region radio station. It was not a huge radio station, but still a very good one. It's called Radio 1, Radio 1. And no, that was yesterday here. RU-SA, Russian radio station. That was my song premiere, and the presenter Alexander Laskar, he asked me a question. Max, do you feel you have more or less audience? Like you know, time is running. You know, I say, I understand what you want to ask me. I clearly realize that new music generation who changed the generation that changed the generation after my generation is coming now. So it's not, it's going on much faster. And now I realize my son, he's 25. He loves old music, like real old style music. And my daughter, she's 10 years younger. She's 15 now. She loves Beatles as well. Like, it's like her music. And she asked me, hey, Dad, you know this song? I say, yes, of course. Do you know that one? Yes, of course. Do you know this? And I say, you know, I do know, but not very good. You know better than me. She knows Beatles better than me.
Yep.
That's a great thing.
Beatles
Same here. My son is the same way. He's 26. Yep. You're right.
And here is the song, then the question will follow.
Здравствуйте, шалом, салам алейкум.
I know this one.
I know
Which
this.
band? Who wants to read this? Serdar, come on, you do it. It's running.
Okay, it's coming. Which band popularized this song? Of course, Mark Schneider
Mark
Kunst.
Schneider Kunst.
That's
Wonderful
what I
band.
thought.
Fantastic.
They played at Drom too.
Yes, maybe even twice.
Long ago, twice, yeah. What's a fun band?
But you know, this
They played once, but they were going to play a second time, and then the tour got canceled, right, Igor?
It was them? Probably right.
Maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
I don't remember.
I
Yeah.
think so.
I do remember.
You called me and you told me that
years back.
you want to
It
put
was-
it in. Yeah, I remember now.
It was about sanctions. It was about sanctions with
Right.
Russia, and
Yeah.
some people stopped. It was this visa war.
Yeah,
like
visa
maybe,
problem. Yeah.
4 years
I
ago,
remember now.
3 years ago.
Mhm.
But they played the drum a few times.
They
and
did. They did. They're fantastic.
This
Fantastic.
song, though, that was just playing, they are known for the song, but they didn't write it. There's a different person who wrote it, some guy who wrote it. Anyway, side note. Okay, Mark Schneider Kunst.
Serdar, maybe you can read this one.
True or false group for Kino performed a small concert in New York City 1989. True or false? Kino.
Tok, tick, tok. It is true.
It is true.
Wow. Mike D got this one correct. Now he's up to the second position. He was 3. Now Katrina is still leading, but Mike D is coming up.
Mike
Yeah,
is
but
so
Mike
shy,
is-
he's not coming.
He has a
Shame,
secret,
what a
secret
shame you didn't know
personality.
this one. They played a small concert in the 90s.
This is a rock band? Kino?
Oh no, actually, it was 1989. It was 1989. Kino was in New York, and it seemed, and according to Wikipedia, I can't confirm this, but it seems like they were in New York in 1989, and they played a small concert. So, well, what it's
This
worth,
is a rock band, Igor? Kino?
it's a rock band. It's one of the most famous cult because the lead singer, whose name is Tsoi, he died in automobile accident when he was very young, and up and coming and like they were all over the place, and even in New York they played, and he died very young. It was a big tragedy, and people sing these songs. I read somewhere that they made a list of 50 best rock songs, Russian rock songs, and Grupa Krovi is one of the songs. By Kino, by Tsoi, and that was like #2 on the list. There is one more band, Alisa, that is more popular, but they're alive and touring.
I would disagree.
You will disagree, but this is from internet.
No, it's like, you know, maybe I'm wrong. They are bigger still. They've always been bigger. I love them.
Did you grow up on them, Max?
They're coming back. They have a project. Kasparyan is working now on a project. They had 14,000 people arena sold before the coronavirus in Moscow, and 12,000 people arena in St. Petersburg. They have this project where they bring Tsoi on the screen and they play live. They have this whole thing revitalized. It's going to be a new band touring. They were supposed to come to New York next year.
Great. So you asked me something I just didn't hear.
Yeah. I was wondering if you grew up on Kino, and if it was a big part of, you know, who you were inspired by, Max, as a performer.
Thanks for asking. I'm a tricky person, and my answer could be like, you know, very confusing. I grew up on, you know, like more David Bowie, and I hadn't loved Kino when they were popular. I never loved Beatles when I was young. Now I'm starting to love them. It's just the trickiest part of my crazy brain, you know, but Kino is, you know, it's my wife Tatiana's favorite band. I mean, Russian bands ever.
Yeah.
And I love this band a lot because, you know, it's just good because it's music. You want to hear it, you want to sing along. It's like music.
Right. Great. I'm going to check out Kino. I'm really interested now.
No words. Yeah. I mean, words are everything in these lyrics are very important, unbelievably important. But even with no lyrics, it's music.
And Katrina is also writing that she was very much influenced by Tsoi as well when he died. She remembers it.
I saw a video of Spaniards singing Tsoi song. Wow. In quarantine. They filmed it, like different apartments, different people singing in Russian, Tsoi song, Kino song, and they're Spanish. They're Spanish people in Spain somewhere during the quarantine. This is how famous his songs are.
One more interesting thing. I was invited to participate in one TV project, like, you know, 7-8 years ago, and to perform one of the songs. I chose Кончится лето. I did it. I produced it in my home studio. But that TV project never happened. 1 or 2 or 3 years after, I met, all of a sudden came across their guitar player somewhere in the airport, like, you know, and I told him about that song. He told me, just send it to me because it's interesting. And I've never sent. I don't know why. I should do it right now. You know, I cannot do it right now because it's in my old computer. So there is no project. There is no. I don't know why, but I still have their song performed by us, by me, never released, never played, never shown. I mean, I cannot release this song because it's not my song. But I can definitely send it to the guys and just even, you know, to present that song to them. I'm not making, you know, money, popularity, whatever. So I still have this song and nobody heard it except 2 or 3 people ever, like in the entire world. I don't know why.
Maybe we will hear it soon.
Yes, I believe so.
There's a question from Katrina, who is one of our leaders in this trivia. We have to pay close attention to the chat. Max, have you participated in Kinoprobe project?
No, never. I was not invited. We are not traditional Russian rock, which is very good. I mean, in general, that's why I'm here. I've never been invited to Brat 2, to Kinoproby, to whatever, maybe except День Radio. This kind of compliment to myself. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why.
All right, maybe we can continue with the trivia. We're nearing the end.
So now we have the 16th question. It was a longer question. So Igor, if you wanna say something before, like it was longer, we made it shorter.
I suspect this is one of the questions that, let me see it first.
So it's the one about who is not a bass player. So
yeah, Max. Max is gonna read it.
All right. Yeah. You regroup. Okay. Let's try.
So you can make an explanation before we make.
Yeah, Max. It's Max's question. He will read.
Okay, so
before I read, I am a singing bassist. I am a lead singer and I'm a bassist. That's why I came up with this question. There is no me in this option, in this question, as an option. Like, let me read it, please, now.
Okay. Yeah. So we made it shorter. You can also make additions.
All right. All right. From musicians listed below, who is not a bass player? Alexander Kurikov, Anatoly Krupnov, Черный Обелиск, if you remember, Evgeny Fedorov, if you Konstantin Nikolsky, who is not. No rush, guys. 42%.
Not bad.
Wow.
So now tell the story, because the question was much longer.
Yeah, I say to play, and no, it was not a part of the play. Okay, to be a singer bass is not a usual thing. There are no huge amount of examples in music. And people always, or maybe almost always think that if you are a leader and lead singer, you must be guitarist, like solo or whatever, guitar, your rock. But sometimes people even don't, bother figuring out if it's bass or like just guitar, how many strings and how thin or thick they are, all right? In Russian rock music, there are, which is surprising, a lot of singing bass guitar players. I'm one of them, but Alexander Kurikov, Машина времени, Anatoly Krupnov, his name Черный Обелиск, Женя Fedorov, Tequila Jazz, Alexander Marshall, which I didn't even mention, Gorky Park. A lot of guys are singing bass guitar players. Konstantin Nikolsky is not.
And it's very hard to play bass and singing, actually, right? Also, drum players is not easy too. Same time.
I don't know how drummers, because they also need to sit.
Yeah, it's not easy.
It's funny. Drummers are always funny. Mr. DJ Spinach knows.
It's very challenging. It's very challenging because
you're
also playing the groove, and sometimes your vocals have to be in different parts of the groove, but your groove has to be solid. So it's challenging. It's coordination problem.
Yes, with the bass too. Yeah, and if you
it's all totally different concept.
And if you sing, play bass, and sometimes jump,
So the bass, basically, bass and drum carries the band and gives the groove, but the solo instruments on the front playing the melody, which is if you are singing, playing the the melodic instrument or like a guitar is easier, but if you are on the groove, it's hard to sing.
There is a guy on the scene right now who is playing drums with his left hand, keyboard, synthesizer.
I know, he played at Drom
and singing. He's very famous. In drum circles, he's teaching.
Yeah. What was his name, Mehmet? He played in Drom last APEP. I forgot his name. He's a big guy with a beard and I forgot his name. He was amazing. He played last day in APEP in January.
And for those who don't know, APEP is sort of like a talent convention, correct?
Yeah.
That is in New York. In Hilton, they do it in Hilton.
Yeah, they do in Hilton.
The conference is at the Hilton, but the showcases are in clubs all around the city in the evening. And unfortunately, because of what's happening now, there are no news yet for next year's edition. I mean, hopefully it will continue. We very much look forward to it. It's in January usually. We miss live music very much. We've been closed for 3 months now.
So what do you think is the future of live music in New York?
Well, some people think that there's going to be an explosion of people wanting to come out. So it's going to be quite similar to what it was before. But other people think it's going to take a long time. The recovery is going to be very slow. So,
no, but legally, live music is phase 4. We're as of June 8th, we're phase 1, which means 400,000 people will be able to go to work because they're only opening like
retail,
manufacturing, and curbside. You can pick up some stuff, which is already happening.
Right.
So then you get into phase 2 and then phase 3, and each phase is 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So hopefully by the end of August, if everything is okay, we can have a live concert. Is that correct?
Maybe.
Hopefully.
That's my calculation.
I don't think it's going to be before August, maybe early August at the earliest, but it's really looking more like September at this point.
September, because each phase is 2 weeks.
So many venues already closed themselves for this year. You know, they're not planning to do anything. The big places I'm talking about. Like as a Drom, we are like the restaurant and bar category. When restaurants are open, we can open because we have a kitchen. But even though it's not going to be, I think, before August.
Right.
And the conditions is going to be very tough. If we are full, we're happy, you know. We try to survive. But if you bring like 30% of people in and do the live music, it's not going to work.
Right.
It cannot keep us alive.
Right.
Money-wise. We'll see.
You have no plans of quitting?
No. I don't.
Right.
No, good.
So
very good.
As you know, we have another 10 years lease.
I know, but
we're gonna keep it back.
Corona just hit us, so. Okay, I'm gonna read the next one. Nogu Svelo has 2 albums named I'm Happy Because I'm Pregnant. The only difference in the name of those albums is the color. What color is not in the name of those 2 albums? Is it green? Is it blue? Is it white? Go for it. I didn't know.
Only 2 people.
All right.
This is hard.
That's a difficult one. Yeah.
Max wrote it.
Yeah. We have 3 questions left.
Yep.
Ahmed, are we bringing anybody into the conversation?
Yeah, not at the moment, but if anybody, as I say, wants, they can chat in. But I'm curious, why the 2 albums have the same name, Max?
I don't know. It's like Dilogy. We decided it was like a concept, and I cannot be pregnant, obviously. So it's like on behalf of like a happy woman, and we decided like to keep this concept throughout 2 albums. I don't know why. It's happened.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So the next question has a little bit of background. So I'll start reading first, and then I'm going to send the question. So we made the question shorter, but let me start reading. So when Perestroika started, rock music emerged from the underground. Official rock organizations were established in some big cities of the former USSR. In most cases, they were called rock clubs. For example, Leningrad Rock Club, Sverdlovsk Rock Club, and etc. So, here's our question. What was the Moscow chapter of such an organization called? So, maybe Max, you can read the...
Yeah, so what the Moscow analog would say? Moscow Community of Independent Rock Musicians, Moscow Rock Association, Moscow Rock Laboratory, Moscow International Rock Organization. Guys.
It was a laboratory.
87%. Make me happy.
No.
Yes,
Yeah,
and I'm happy because I'm pregnant. Because
And
I'm
blue.
from there. Moscow Rock Laboratory gave birth to different bands, and I am just proud of being part of it.
And by the way, Olga is doing well as well. I typed to
Olga,
her as
she's
well.
strong as well. I know who that is. Olga is very strong.
So if Olga wants to video in as well, also.
Okay.
So we have 2 questions left, and still Slava and Mike D have a chance. So, but Katrina needs to get these questions wrong.
Katrina, she will win it. She knows her stuff.
Very well. So let's have the next question. Here it is. Igor, maybe you go first.
Musical film, The Woman Who Sings, featured, was co-written and composed by which of the following artists? Sofia Rataro, Edita Piecha, Alla Pugacheva, or Laima Vaikuli? Musical film, The Woman Who Sings, featured.
Ooh.
100%.
Oh, 1977, guys.
We have a good pool of people, I tell you, Igor. People really know a lot about Russian music.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
To have everyone.
Whoa! Masha, привет.
Masha, if
Hello,
you can
Masha.
unmute, you are on mute.
So Masha had a question. She answered a question and she put the right answer, but she got the wrong.
Twice. But maybe I was too slow because I definitely knew about laboratory.
She placed Moscow Rock Laboratory, and
I knew that, but
and it was a wrong answer.
It's not about winning; it's about playing.
Exactly.
Right.
Igor, I was going to say that Tupy, you might know about them because of Dunya Smirnova, who is a very famous Russian journalist right now.
Yes.
So so that might be, I don't know if you know who you are because you don't watch as many Russian news as I do, but the famous part of Tupy nowadays is the fact that Dunya Smirnova, who is one of the most famous Russian journalists at this point, and also wife of famous Russian politician, she was a member of that band back in the day.
Yeah, she's also a TV presenter.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just a very interesting and famous Russian publicist, really.
She was a part of.
Person. Yeah.
Yeah, she was a part of this TV show, Shkola Zloslovia.
Yep. And she's also married to, who is she married to? She's married to a very famous politician.
Chubais.
Chubais, yeah, she's married to Chubais.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But she was in TV show with Tatiana Tolstaya, and no, she's a very interesting person. She's a real thing.
Wasn't Chubais the mayor of Moscow?
No, that's Sobyanin.
Oh, Sobyanin. What's his Chubais? What's his?
He was a reformist. He is one of the better guys there, if there's any better guys there, but he's one of the better guys.
He's the one who initialized, or I don't know how to say, this privatization in Russia.
Yeah.
I do not make any comments about this. I'm not the one who is to comment. I'm just trying to remind you, just to, to maintain this conversation.
Oh, yeah. Russia doesn't have good politicians.
Yes.
Underground.
Chubais is the one, maybe I'm wrong, due to whom the oil in Russia is not mine.
I'm not going to comment. I watch Russian politics, but from afar. Because it's better that way. It's better not to be too involved.
I learned so much yesterday. I try to follow local politics.
Issues with logging in, so I missed on first 5 questions.
This is
Is this Jameson? All right.
Jameson, yeah.
Nice. Strong Russian lady, you see?
Yep. Cool. Let's continue.
Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, looks like she missed.
We have another question, right?
We have one more. I don't know if Budulai is tuning in as well, but
he probably is making barbecue.
Probably in his island. in Roosevelt Island. Very well. So let's have, if you guys are ready, the last question of tonight. Who is gonna read it?
Max.
Max, our guest. Max, here it is.
Okay. Ivan Timofeyevich, why Drummond, better known by stage name Face, is a rapper who released the soundtrack song to movie named The Honorist, Leto, Londograd, The Optimists. 25%.
Humorist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Katerina, congratulations, you have won.
Yes, Katerina.
Wow.
Yeah, Katrina got it.
Also, thank you to Slava, Shay, Mike D, and everybody that participated.
Yeah, you guys are great.
This
Thank
was
you
a
for
great pool.
participating.
Cool.
We learned a few things
It
about
was
Russian
fun.
music with two wonderful people.
Just
Thank you so
figured
much.
out how much we don't know the Russian music.
It's all about learning, right?
It's an ocean. It's an ocean.
It's an ocean.
This
It's a
is
huge culture. Yes, yes.
This is nothing.
The first thing I'm going to do is check out Kino after we're done with this conversation.
Yeah.
And second thing, you check Tupi. Promise me.
Tupi.
Okay, all right.
And Pugacheva. Pugacheva is a must.
Igor, you better email us some of the names that we were talking about.
Yeah, I'll send you.
Maybe the Russian, then we can find easier. You know.
I'll send you some links. Well,
Okay.
we have beautiful participants here. I know most of them, I think.
And your guess for tonight was right. Like before we started, you said Katrina is gonna win, and there she is. You know.
I know my people, man. I know
You
my
know your people. Yes, yes. Well, it's all about the community.
Everybody's safe. I don't know how
You
long we
too.
have to do this trivia.
You too, especially you because you're on the front lines, Spinach, Igor.
We have no patience,
safe.
thank God. I'm working with kids. We have no patience, and I have to sit for 12 hours and just make trivia questions.
Well, thank you for preparing the questions, and Max, you too. Thank you so much for joining us. Now it was
Good
great to
see
have
you,
you.
Max. Good to see you,
Was a
Igor.
pleasure.
That was wonderful.
Максик, спасибо. Спасибо, ребята. Всем спасибо.
Stay safe.
Bye.
Bye.
See you
Thank you,
next time.
guys.
Take care.
Bye bye.
Okay.